Hello, welcome to Three Crows Runes. My name is Jen. Let's do some rune readings. Today we're doing these star signs. So, you know your star sign, and I'm going to put the star signs in the description, and I will be using the Dreamer's Journal Tarot and also the Rose Quartz Runes, which is the Elder Futhark set. And so look down in the description and look for your sign and click the sign and it'll go there to your reading, and I will see you there. Bye! So hello Taurus! So we're going to start with a card from the Dreamer's Journal Tarot. We have the Five of Wands, so there's been some conflict for you right now. Again, these are general readings for whenever you find this video. So, Taurus, having a bit of conflict. Let's see what the runes have to say about it. You reap what you sow. Yikes. So, let's just see. Let's just see. Alrighty. So, your central issue here is we have Yira. Yira is the rune of the harvest. It literally means year. And it's basically saying that what you're dealing with right now, okay, I'm going to read this a couple ways. First of all, there is a certain amount of what's coming up right now is what you planted. So it's not like this is your fault, but it's like what you're dealing with now is something that has been growing for a while. And so now it's come up and you're dealing with it. Harvest rune is generally a beneficial thing though. So it's, there's some good coming up. It's just that there's conflict right now. So the year also has to do with time. It has to do with like a season of time. So there's a certain amount of time and you know that this is going to pass, but right now you're in the thick of it. Leading up to this, we have Othala, and Othala is the homeland rune. This is basically, I think it's something that has come up from the home, possibly from the family, but yeah, homeland, that kind of thing. So there might be some sort of conflict happening that it sort of started with family and now you're dealing with it. It's just kind of come up and it's going on, and you know it's probably temporary, but it's still just sort of your whole day. So it's kind of like this going on. And it's basically, wands are will, so it's just basically conflicting wills. Everybody has their own idea and intent, and you get the sense that they could put this all together and make something like, I don't know, like an IKEA cabinet or something if they actually would be able to harmonize, but right now they're not there yet. So what's going to help is we have Ivaz. Ivaz is patience and slow development. It's the yew tree. So it does have to do with patience and slow growth. Be patient with the situation. You trust that it's, going to, you sort of are trusting that it will eventually sort itself out. What isn't going to help is its people. We have Manaz, which is the rune of humanity and where you feel you belong in it. And so it's sort of like it's A, you're dealing with people, and B, you're feeling like you're worried about the stability of where you feel you belong. So if that starts to be the case, just bring yourself back up to being patient. Just be patient with this. It's going on right now. Even this year looks a little bit at odds with itself. So it's kind of, that's going on. But just be patient and eventually you will reach the end of this. We have Gabo, which is the rune of the gift, which is the rune of the exchange, and it has to do with one-on-one interpersonal relationships and also agreements, decisions, and goals. So you will actually get this. This will sort itself out. People will be able to harmonize, turn these into exchanges, and everything will be good eventually. So good luck, Taurus. I wish you all the best with that, and I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. So the next sign I am reading is Virgo. Hello, Virgo. So Virgo, we're going to start with a Dreamer's Journal Tarot, Six of Cups. So you are revisiting childhood memories or childhood relationships, or just sort of it's very nostalgic revisiting kind of thing happening, where you're sort of returning to innocence to a certain extent and just basically getting in with that feeling for now. So let's see what the runes have to say about it. Okay, that's interesting. Right. So there's kind of, we have Gebo. Gebo's the rune of the gift, and it does some, gift was always an exchange with the ancient Norse, so it's sort of an exchange, a one-on-one exchange. It also has to do with one-on-one relationships, but it also has to do with agreements, decisions, and goals. But I do see this sort of like as a sort of an intimate one-on-one, not intimate like necessarily like a sexual intimacy, but just basically someone with whom you are intimate, that you are doing this sort of nostalgic revisiting with, whether they're still alive or not. It's something where it's a connection that you have or you had that you're actually going back with, and sort of revisiting this time of innocence and this earlier time, which feels sweeter from looking back at it. Leading up to this, you've just been through one heck of a challenge. We have Thurizaz, it's open, so I mean it's upright, so the door is open, the gateway is open. It's the thorn, the giant, in the gateway, and it's basically, you've just been through it. I mean, it's been a heck of a trip. It wasn't impossible, but it was like an ordeal, and you got through it. And so now you're sort of taking a moment and sort of reconnecting with the sweeter time that this card is representing. What will help you is we have Othala, which is the rune of the home and the homeland. If we weren't in the middle of a pandemic, I would say, you might want to revisit your old haunts, and you might want to revisit places you consider to be home. There are other ways to do that. You can look at pictures, you can look at movies, you can go on Google Maps and go to Street View and look at your old homes. But just basically reconnect with your feelings about home and your homeland, and basically what this represents, your earlier time that gave you security and innocence and helped you feel that things were sweet. Now, what won't help is we have Hagalaz. Hagalaz is the rune of the hailstorm. Has to do with chaos and natural forces and natural energies and destructive forces sometimes. And it's just sort of, things are chaotic. Things are feeling chaotic, and it's sort of that will harsh the mellow of this sweet scene that you're sort of trying to recreate around you. There is chaos, and there's even chaos creeping in, on the outskirts of this image. So this is like a little bubble of sweetness in your memories. So if this is sort of encroaching, just sort of bring yourself back up to just feeling sheltered and feeling contained and secure in this whole nostalgic feeling of home and innocence and sweetness. And what this will lead you to is a greater grasp of your inner strength, because looking back, you'll be able to see how you came forward with this as your base that actually gave you a really solid foundation. Uruz, root of the wild ox, the aurochs, and it has to do with strength and protection, strength and health, but reversed, it has to do with inner strength and health. So this is basically what has given you this, and revisiting it at any time will like renew that. So that, Virgo, is your reading. I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. So the next sign I am reading is for Capricorn. Hello, Capricorn. Putting down a Dreamer's Journal Tarot. We have the Four of Wands. So you're sort of celebrating right now. You're sort of taking there's some stability going on. Everybody's wills are aligned, and you're having a bit of a dance. It's just sort of relaxing and comforting and sort of just doing that. There's Yura again. We had Yura earlier. I am digging deep with these. And I'm getting some of the same runes, so that's interesting. A lot of similar themes, I guess, for everybody right now. So, Capricorn, right now you're sort of in a stable moment where you feel that you can and should celebrate. You have earned this. So you're sort of sweetly with friends and family and whatever, and just sort of gathering beneath the canopy and celebrating. And that would, the runes here would speak to that. We have Yura. It's the rune of the harvest, it's the rune of time, and it has to do with things that are coming up that you planted before, so the fruits of your labors. So it's time to celebrate. It's also this is a temporary time. Like, that this is the lull between storms kind of thing. So you're sort of eager to take advantage of this and just basically celebrate now. What led up to this is we have Gebo. Gebo's the rune of the exchange. It's the rune of the gift, basically, and it's the exchange. So there's been an interchange, there's been an exchange, maybe there's been an agreement, decision, or goal made. But basically, I'm sort of seeing this with the figures in the card as like a one-on-one exchange, that sort of meeting up sort of thing. It's like, okay, coming together, let's celebrate now. What will help is forget about the rest of humanity. Whatever they're doing, like, forget them for now. Just basically shut the door on the din. We have Manaz as the rune of humanity. It is reversed and it's on the upper line. So just basically shut out the din. This is your time with either your newfound agreement, decision, or goal and the fruits of your labors, or the significant other, or the one other person with which you've had this, you're meeting up to do this. So now's your time. Just basically shut out the din. Everybody else can do whatever. You'll catch up with them when you finish celebrating. What won't help is we have Uruz reversed. Now, Uruz is the rune of the wild ox, also known as the aurochs. It is reversed and it's on the lower line. So the aurochs has to do with strength and health. Reversed in the lower line, you're sort of worried about, I'm not going to say that you do feel less strong than you would otherwise. I'm not going to say that you're not feeling as healthy or as strong. You're worried about this, especially in reference to this, because this is here and you're shutting out humanity. You're sort of worried that humanity is going to think that you're not as strong as you should be, or not as, grounded or whatever as you should be. And you're sort of agonizing about that. And you don't need to, because you've earned this. You got through all of this, and you need the time to celebrate. You deserve it. So close the door on the din. Just take this time for a sweet dance and have that now, because this is what you've earned. These are the fruits of your labors, and you need to celebrate that. So what this is going to lead to is you're going to find out, this is how you're going to unlock something about yourself that you didn't realize was there, but was always there. We have Pertho reversed. Pertho is the rune of the lot box, has to do with fate, luck, surprises, and it's reversed on the path line. So it's sort of, you're sort of through this. As long as you take the time to celebrate now, which you hopefully are doing or will do, this will unlock something that you didn't realize about yourself before, and now you do, and it's something that you can move forward with, and it will make you make your life more rich, which is good. So you're going to carry something from this with you as you move forward back into whatever is outside of this picture. So that, Capricorn, is your reading. I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello, air signs. So I'm going to start by drawing a card for Aquarius. So we're going to start with that. We have the King of Pentacles. You're very strong and driven by practical things right now. You're sort of just focused on down-to-earth type stuff, and sort of being in command of that. Not in command, but just in terms of your focus is on that, and you're sort of driven by it. Your decisions are made. Your decisions and your movements are made from that. There's Yura again. We've seen Yura in the center point. This is the third time in this session. That's really interesting. So a lot of people are dealing with fruits of their labors right now. Like, a lot of people are seeing that come up. It is, it's late autumn, so, or at least it's autumn. Okay, so right now you're dealing with the fruits of your labors. Not dealing with, but you're seeing them. You're seeing the fruits of your labors right now. And this has made things very abundant for you, and you're sort of feeling, okay, this is great, things are good, life is good, my needs are provided for, and we have much nourishment around me, and all that good stuff. Leading up to this, you've been on a heck of a journey. You've been on a real journey up until this point, and you've done a lot to get to this point, and now you're sort of reaping the fruits of your labors. This is you're reaping what you sown, planted, and so that's where you are now. You're sitting in the throne of plenty. What will help at this point is we have Ingvaz. Ingvaz is the rune of active creativity, like active creation. This is Ing's rune. Ing is another name for Frey. Frey is a fertility god. So again, very much grounded in plenty and the growing things and things that are rich and of the earth and all that good stuff, even though you're an air sign. So what is going to help you with this is really embody and embrace the aspect of plenty that's happening right now, this sort of abundance, but also be ready to shape it, because you brought the stuff up now, and now you can shape it. You can do with it what the harvest seems to want done with it. So this is basically where you're at. You've got a lot now to work with that you worked hard to get, and now you can work with it. Now you can make something out of it. And that's what's going to help, because you're actually honoring it by making something out of it. What doesn't help is we have Isa. Isa is the rune of ice. It's the rune of standstill, and it's basically the opposite of this. It's in this particular reading. It's like, don't just let it sit. Don't just sit on your plenty, or your plenty will rot. So do something with it while you have the time to do that, because now is the time. And what this will lead you to is, first of all, greater ease of movement. We have Evaz, which is the horse. The horse is movement and also spirit. So you're going to feel like you've got more energy to move, first of all, because you're going to be better nourished. But also you're going to be more connected to spirit, because you're sort of connecting with the abundance and the natural growth of things, and so you'll be more in tune with and more in harmony with spirit at that point, and that will help you carry forward as you move forward. So that, Aquarius, is your reading. I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye! So the next sign I am reading is Gemini. Hello, Gemini. Here's your card from the Dreamer's Journal Tarot, and it's the Seven of Cups. So there's a lot right now. You have a lot of options that you're sort of deciding between. You're still in like looking at the catalog phase of things. You're sort of like looking at, there's my carnelian. You're not even working on anything yet, but you're thinking about all the things, all the ways you could go, all the directions you could go, and all the options that you do have. And as I said, it's sort of like looking through the catalog phase, where you're going, oh, I could do that, or I could do this, or I could do that. That might be nice. So right now that's where you're at. So let's see what the runes have to say to clarify and expand upon this. Okay. There's the other three. They all popped out at once. So that's interesting. Okay. So basically your central issue, we have Othala reversed. Othala is the home and the homeland rune, and reversed in the pathline, it has to do with a couple of things. One, letting go of things that no longer serve you. Two, coming out of your comfort zone. And three, creating a home within yourself, so that wherever you go, you will have access to that. What led up to this is you've had a really strong time leading up to this of really creating. You've been really putting things together in your life, taking what you have and shaping it, basically active creation. Ing is Ingvaz, Ing's rune, and Ing is another name for Frey, the fertility god. So it has to do with a lot of yang creation of things. And so you've reached a point where you're ready to let go of things that aren't serving you anymore. Maybe you've done so much that it's like spilled out, and now you're sort of, which direction am I going? But also, you want to come out of your comfort zone, because you feel like you've done as much as you could with what you had where you're at. So maybe you want to move forward, and you're sort of, I want something new. I want something new around me. So this is what you're doing now, is you're sort of looking at all the options and all the directions. What's going to help you the most? Follow the spirit. Let your spirit inform you which one to go with. And you'll find your spirit will already know pretty much which direction to go in from here. This Evaz, it's the horse rune. The horse has to do with movement and spirit. So there's the other aspect of Evaz, which is not only will spirit guide you in this, But as soon as you choose, as soon as Spirit helps you choose, ride quickly towards that thing. Let Spirit carry you towards that thing with great speed. Don't waste any time. What won't help is you're going to feel, you're worried about being unsupported, basically. We have Algae, which is the elk, and it's reversed on the lower line. And this has to do with protection and support. And when it's reversed, it's like you're worried about, you might not have, you're worried about doing something alone. You're worried about that you might not have the support that you would want to do this with. So if that starts to be the case, don't worry about it. You do have the support that you need right now because it's Spirit, and Spirit's going to carry you towards the thing that you need. And once you're moving towards that, everything will sort of cluster to you that has to do with this, and that will become your new support. And what this will lead to is pretty quickly you're going to start to see fruits of your labors on this. So this is quick. Like as soon as you let Spirit choose, you're riding quickly towards it, and already almost within the first like few steps of it, you're going to start to already see the fruits of your labors for it. So it's a really good path forward for you. And that, Gemini, is your reading. I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. And the next sign I am reading is Libra. So let's see what there is for Libra. Libra, battle's over. You've been through it. Now you're sort of picking up the pieces. There has been some loss. There has been some losses. But you are now sort of in a situation where let's pick up what's left and move forward from here, because moving back is to move into misery and chaos. Let the things go that have gone. So let's see what the runes have to say to clarify and expand on this. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Are we crooked? Are we a little crooked? Oh well. It's fine, just tilt your head. Okay. No, it's fine. Okay, so your central issue here, we have Pertho. Pertho is the rune of the lot box, and it has to do with fate and surprises. Surprises that stop you in your tracks, but surprises that were there all along and that you've only just realized were there. And this sort of goes along with this. It's sort of like, okay, well, if that's what it is, that's what it is. We move forward from here. Leading up, there was a great sense of support before. You're coming from a situation of great support and protection. We have Algae, which is the rune of the elk, and has to do with support and protection situation. It is upright too, so it's just basically an outer support system. But something has come up now that you realize was always there, and it has changed things, and you're in a situation where you're going to have to let things go that need to go. And that's fine. That's the end of the battle. You don't to stay in would be to stay in the battle. So the battle's over. Move forward with the energy that you have. You didn't lose all of it, so it's all good. Just pick it up. What helps in this moment actually is stillness. We have Isa, which is ice. Ice has to do with standstill and stillness, and also clarity. So let the clarity of this moment sink in, because it's important. This is something that's part of your fate. Not to say fate, but in terms of this is part of your path and your fate and your story, and it's important, and it has now been revealed. And so take that moment to be still with it and let the clarity of it seep in and become your story, which it is. What won't help is this was pretty blinding. This was one of those things where it was just like this blinding flash of revelation, and that can, as I said, stop you in your tracks. And you might feel immobilized by this, because that's what happens with some great change, some great shock. It can immobilize you. So that can, and which is fine because you got to stop anyway, but not in this way. You are sort of immobilized in the first stage of this shock. However, you can let yourself be completely blinded by it and then get overwhelmed by it, and that can be very upsetting, says Dagaz, the rune of the breaking of the day. Or if you start to feel this happen, take a little step back from it. It is still going to be bright and almost overwhelming, but you can sort of take a step back from that and sort of view it from an outside perspective, where you can just get yourself the overview and just be still with it. And this will allow you to move forward again afterwards. As long as you take this pause and this breath and this moment to take this in, you will be able to then, Avaz the horse, move forward again relatively quickly. But you needed this pause. But you can then move again relatively quickly and let spirit guide you, which is the other aspect of horse. So, horse. Avaz. And that, Libra, is your reading. I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello, fire signs. So the first fire sign I am reading is Aries. Let's see what card you get, Aries. Knight of Cups. You are riding forth in pursuit of emotion and intuition and all that good watery stuff. Dreams and caring and good things. So riding forward into the new quest for that on a very pretty horse. So again, I'm getting a lot of the same runes in these readings this session, and it's really interesting to me because it's not like I'm stacking them and then picking them out again. I'm sort of burying them and mixing them, and then the same ones come out. Anyway, Aries, you're very strong. You are really feeling your strength, and it's not just inner strength. You are a powerful person, and you are strong, and you are grounded. Maybe you're a little bit stubborn, but that can help you. So you're basically very strong and grounded, and you're feeling healthy, and that's good. And so that gives you the base to be able to move forward in your pursuit of emotion, heart, all that good things, letting the heart guide you. What led up to this is you've decluttered. You've actually let go of some things that no longer served you, and that's made you feel lighter and stronger. At the same time, you've sort of really worked on creating home within yourself so that wherever you go, you always have access to that, which is really, really good. I am going to say that you also have moved out of your comfort zone recently, and this has actually helped you to realize how strong you are. What is going to help you in this moment is keep listening to your inner voice. We have Ansus, which is the rune of communication and manifestation. And so it's listening, it's silence, it's outward silence, but it's listening to your inner voice. And it's also just listening. So that's actually going to help you. But as long as you stay in tune with that, like stay tuned into that, then that's actually going to help you the most when you move forward. What doesn't help is, I'm going to read this a couple ways. This is Gabo, it's the rune of the gift. A gift is always an exchange, and it might have to do with a one-on-one relationship, or it might have to do with agreements, decisions, and goals. So if it's a one-on-one relationship that is not helping you, you may be trying to please somebody before you take care of yourself, and you need to be able to take care of yourself before you turn to people pleasing. Like you don't sacrifice yourself for other people. You're not going to get an award for it. And it's going to make it harder for you to help if you're not helping yourself first, it's going to be harder to help other people. Make sure that you have everything that you need in terms of strength and that you're replenished. You can't pour from an empty bucket, and you need to have your oxygen mask in place before you assist another. So basically, that might drag you down from this if you feel compelled, and you probably do because this is here, to help somebody else before you help yourself. The other thing is you may have had plans before this that you haven't let go of yet, and that might be at odds with your new sense of decluttering and your own sense of inner home and listening to your inner voice. And this may actually be at odds, and please recognize when that's the case. Like, it's okay to let go of plans that are no longer a part of what serves you. Bring yourself back up, listen to your inner voice. You can move forward with that. And what this will lead to is a greater sense of being able to support yourself, a greater sense of being able to protect yourself and stand up for yourself. You really are standing for yourself at this point, which is great. And then you can help other people better, which is great. And that's what you want. So that, Aries, is your reading. And I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. And the next sign I am reading is Leo. Hello, Leo. Hello, Leo people. Your card is the Two of Wands. You are sort of hesitating between a decision between two things. You're like, both of them are viable. You've already made your decision, so, but the other one is still looking like it's something that you're considering. But really, you've already made your choice. It just feels like there's two choices still, but you really already have. Look, that's Parasol reversed again. You've already made your choice, but you don't know it yet. You haven't let yourself believe it yet. Okay. And this one wants to come out for the last rune, and it is the Sovilo. Okay, cool. So your central issue is, we have Pertho reversed. Pertho is the rune of the lot box. It has to do with fate and surprises, and it's reversed on the path lines. So it could be, you've had a negative surprise, and it could also be, it's an and or, but it could also be that you've just found something out about yourself that you maybe didn't realize before. And what led up to this is, we have Yura, which is the rune of the harvest. So a lot of the fruits of your labors have come into being. You've worked really hard on this, and so now you've got some things that in hand that you didn't before, that you were working on for a really long time. And this has led to this realization about yourself that you didn't realize before, but was always there. And you're like, okay. And now you feel like you have to make this choice, even though it's not really a choice because you've already made the choice. But this is something else that you feel like needs your attention in terms of, should I direct my energy and will in this direction? But as I said, you've already made your choice. You have it in hand. What will help you is, I'm going to read this two ways, although it's subtly different. It's we have Bueno reversed. Now, Bueno is the rune of the joy. Bueno is the rune of joy. It is reversed and it's on the upper line. So first of all, one of the things that's going to help you is, what don't I want? What would not make me happy? And that was sort of like a negative way to make a choice. But it's like, of the two, one of them won't make you happy. The one that you've already decided on also has the happiness built in. And it's a deep happiness. It's like, it's a choice between what basically won't make me happy, but I feel deserves my attention, and what will make me deeply happy, and what have I already decided on. So basically that's where the jewel lies, is in the one that's going to make you deeply, deeply happy, like just to your soul joyful, like give your soul joy. And the other one, it's like something you feel you should choose, but there's no joy in it for you. And that's going to help you choose. Because you already know. And don't let the shoulds decide for you. What won't help you is you're afraid of letting go of, like, the one that doesn't give you joy does give you a sense of comfort zone. So maybe it's something that you'd committed to before, but it's not helping you. And you're afraid of leaving your comfort zone. So that's why you're afraid of leaving this other choice. But that's no reason to hang on to something. Just because you've put a lot of time into it doesn't mean you need to hang on to misery. Let that go. Choose the one that makes you deeply joyful. And once you do, you're going to get this direct current of source energy. We have Sovilo, the sun. It's going to be basically like you've cleared away the mess off of window and the sun is shining in. As soon as you make this choice, as soon as you commit to this choice, once you let go of the one that doesn't give you any joy, you're going to be tapped in and you're going to have all this source energy and it's going to be awesome. So that, Leo, is your reading. I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. So the next sign I am reading is Sagittarius. Hello, Sagittarius. Look what you got. You got strength. Because you have it. You have strength. And let's see what the runes have to say about that. There's the center. The center is Isa. Let's see what we have for Sagittarius today. Alrighty. Cool. So you're being reminded how strong you are. Because right now things don't seem to be moving. We have Isa, which is the rune of ice. It's standstill, it's stillness, but it's also clarity. So you're getting a real sense of clarity right now. And what's interesting is that what led up to this is a lot of emotion. We have Laguz, which is the rune of the lake. It's water, it's emotion, it's intuition, it's heart. This has flowed you right into this moment of going, I am strong. I really, really am strong. And this is something I didn't really recognize before. Recognize your strength, Sagittarius. And what helps you is this fact that you just realized about yourself that you didn't, I mean, you kind of, maybe you knew, but you didn't acknowledge it. It's acknowledging this thing that you didn't realize before about yourself, and now you do. It's something that it's Partho, it's the rune of the lot box, it's the rune of fate, it's the rune of surprises, it's reversed on the upper line, and so it's something about you internally. You have realized how strong you are. You have realized that you can work with great forces of energy. And this is something relatively new in terms of actually acknowledging it. What won't help is, this showed up exactly in the same place with exactly the same meaning in the previous reading, so I'm just going to reiterate. Othala reversed in the lower line, where you're actually afraid of leaving your comfort zone. Your comfort zone included a feeling like maybe you're not that strong, that you're not such a strong person, but you are. You are super, super strong. And maybe you're not yet ready to let go of habits that you developed when you sort of were working under that incorrect belief that you weren't as strong as you wished you were. You are, and you've just realized this. And in this moment of stillness, after a lot of emotion and a lot of heart following, you're like, wait a minute, I actually am strong. I don't have to do all this garbage that I was doing before. Even though it's a comforting habit, let go of that. I've got to let go of that, and I'm not going to be afraid of letting go of that. I know this now about myself, so I'm going to move forward. And what this will lead to is a deep inner joy, like joy down to your soul joy. You're also going to be more readily able to point out things that you don't like. You're going to be like, well, I don't like that. I don't like that. And then you just basically be done with that. But mostly what this is going to lead to is being tapped into your deep, deep, deep joy, knowing deeply inwardly what brings you joy and how to follow that. So that, Sagittarius, is your reading. I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello, water signs. So let's see what card we get for the water signs. We get King of Wands. So you are sort of in a situation where you're being driven by your will. You're feeling very strong in your will, like direction. You also want to open up communication with people, but I'm just really seeing this like you want to not inflict and not enforce, but you want to express your will. You want to let your will guide you forward, and you want to be very, very strong in this. So let's see, Pisces, what the runes have to say about this. Okay, let's see. Both of these want to come out, so I'm going to give you both of them. So we have Othala, which is the rune of the home and the homeland, as your central issue. So your focus is home. You really want to, you're focusing really strong on home and your homeland, maybe family, but basically your sanctuary, your security, and home, basically. Your focus is that. Leading up to this, I'm going to read this a couple ways. One, maybe you have recently not felt as rich as you might want to. We have Fehu, which is the rune of wealth and worth. It is reversed and it's on the path line. So leading up to this thinking about home and centering on home is this moment of maybe I have less resources than I thought I did. Maybe I'm a little bit depleted, but at the same time, what also led up to this is a greater feeling of confidence. You actually have a lot of confidence, which actually is reflected here with your will, with letting your will direct you, and really having a lot of confidence in that. So something has instilled you with a lot of confidence in yourself and in your will. So here you are at home. What will help you here is we have Uruz. Uruz is the rune of the wild ox. We have strength. We have health. Sometimes a little stubbornness, but that's part of this. So you want to be I keep hearing enforcing or inflicting, and that's not the right way to say it, and that's not actually true either. But you want to sort of, this is what you want. You want what you want, and this is what's actually going to help you with your home. And in terms of stabilizing your home, it is actually going to stabilize. You're going to want to stabilize your home, basically, and you're going to do this with your strength and with your health, and it's going to be a healthy thing. So focus on that. What isn't going to help is we have fuzzy on the rune. We have Avaz, which is the rune of the horse. It is reversed and it's on the lower line. So you're actually worried about not moving around as much. The horse has to do with movement and spirit. You're worried about not moving, and you're worried about not moving around as much, being centered on home as you are. But you're very, very strong and stable where you are, and you're healthy where you are. So you don't have to move around as much. Keep moving, like physically. Make sure you're getting your physical movement in, and also don't stop letting spirit guide you. I know will is very cool and it's powerful, but remember to tap into spirit from time to time as well, and let spirit guide you as well, because that's actually, abandoning that is a bad thing. So let spirit inform this inner strength, because you're innerly strong because spirit is feeding that. So tap into that, because that's behind this. What this will lead to is actually a challenge, and it's a challenge that you've sort of been building up to, and you're ready to meet it. The door is open. It's Thurizaz. It's not reversed. The gateway is open. So Thorn the Giant, the gateway, it's in the direction you're going. It's just you had to build up to get to this point. So you're coming in with your will and possibly communication to move forward. And what this will lead to is, this is the other one that came out, is we have Laguz reversed. Laguz is the rune of emotion, intuition, and heart. Reversed, it's sometimes it's negative emotions, but it's like it's a natural outpouring of an emotion that maybe you were putting off. It's something that needs to be expressed, and also it's a way to connect with your deep inner heart. So you need to get through that to connect with your inner heart. And that, Pisces, is your reading. So I wish you all the best with that. And I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. So next sign I am going to read is Cancer. So hello, Cancer. That's your card from the Dreamer's Journal Tarot. Let's see what the runes have to say about it. Ooh, blank rune. Okay, Page of Wands. So you're going to be starting out with something to do with your will, in terms of expressing your will, and also maybe with a little bit of communication. But I'm seeing sort of like you're trying out expressing your will and letting your will guide you, like being like out there with your will, guiding yourself with that. Leading up to that, you've actually recently had a really good sense of confidence that maybe you didn't have before. You feel really strong and confident right now. And maybe this sort of stemmed from, well, maybe I don't have as much outer worth. Sorry, it's Fehu, rune of wealth and worth. Also cattle. Probably cattle don't enter into it, but who knows? We have a sense of confidence that's basically leading you into this moment of, I've never been here before. This is a blank moment where it's, the blank rune is the central thing. Uncharted lands, but you're moving forward with this newfound confidence. What will help you is embrace this journey. We have the journey rune, which is Raido, and it's riding. So you're basically riding forward. Embrace this. This is a new journey for you with your newfound confidence into trackless lands, uncharted lands. What won't help is the fact that you've never been here before is a bit overwhelming. Like, this is something you've never done before, and it's new, and it can be like overpowering. We have Dagas, the breaking of the day, big, inarguable, unignorable, blazing newness that's happening, and that can be a bit much. It's worrying. You've only just started. So embrace the journey. This is part of your journey. So this is like, it's a big story, and you're sort of, this is part of the story. So moving forward into this adventure, embrace that. What this will lead to is we have Uruz reversed, and Uruz is the wild ox, and it has to do with strength and health, and reversed, it has to do with inner strength. So you had your inner worth, you started on this journey, went through the trackless lands, and you now see how strong you are inwardly. And that, Cancer, is your very promising reading. And I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. Next sign I am reading is Scorpio. Hello, Scorpio. So let's see what Scorpio gets. On the Dreamer's Tarot is the Hermit. So you have recently sort of stepped back to a certain extent to look at things from the outside for a bit. Just sort of like taking a step back out of the din to really observe what's going on. So what helps is, this is actually, doing this is basically the best way that you can tend your duties and responsibilities right now. You need this perspective. You need to take this step back and look, like really observe in a removed kind of way of what's going on. And this is the best way to tend your duties and responsibilities. Also do this with great energy. Take that step back and like, this is my quest right now, is to just basically remove myself from things. You're sort of driving forward to step back. What led up to this is we have Issa. So things not moving, it's ice. Things aren't moving, things seem frozen, but also a great clarity has come in from that, which has sort of led to this moment of, I'm going to take this step back. This is my next step of my quest. It may not be as exciting as, you know, riding forward and slaying monsters, but it's something that I need to do. It's a bit of a sacrifice, but I need to do it to tend my own responsibilities in life. And what will help you here is that this is going to actually give you great revelations, like almost right away. Almost immediately when you step back, you're going to be able to see the truth that, like, it's going to be illuminated much better than it would have been if you were still in the din of it. So sort of like take that step back, let the illumination happen, because that's what's going to help you the most. This is what you did it for, and you're going to be able to see what it is. What won't help is you're worried about happiness. We have Bueno, which is the rune of joy. It is on the lower line, and it's basically, it's upright. So you're worried about happiness a couple ways. I'm going to read this a couple ways. One, you're worried about your happiness. Will I be happy? But you're also worried about becoming happy, in that if I'm happy, that can be taken away from me. That's, you know, happiness is one of those things. I mean, I always think about what Georgia O'Keeffe said about it, is that happiness is fleeting, like everything else. I mean, happiness is an emotion, and emotion is weather. You will get some rainy days, you will get some sunny days, and it's nothing is permanent. So if you're always worried about that, you know, you may as well be worried about sadness or anger. It's like, but what if I'm not angry? So it's just sort of that. I mean, it's happiness is great, but it's not the be all end all of, you know what, happiness is great, and I don't blame you for being worried about not being happy. But if that starts to happen, bring yourself back up to the fact that you are learning so much. Like, this is fascinating. Georgia O'Keeffe said, it's better to, instead of questing for happiness, which is just fleeting, that I'm marring her quote, so I'm not actually quoting her, I'm sort of paraphrasing. Instead of like always questing after happiness, which is just fleeting and then you have to quest again, basically be always interested and curious, because that's going to carry you. And this is basically what it is. You are learning so much, having stepped back and taking this moment to turn your duty into stepping back to view the situation. And so this is what's going to help you the most, is these revelations that you're going to get by doing this. And what this is going to lead to is a greater sense of who you are in humanity without needing humanity's validation. We have Manas reversed. Manas is the rune of humanity and your place in it, not like your place, but in terms of your where you feel you belong in it, but it is reversed on the path line. And that has to do with your own drummer, like your own voice in the song without needing anybody else around you to fill that, like to make that mean anything. You are your own meaning. So that's what this is going to lead to, is a greater sense of who you are and your own personal strength in that. And that, Scorpio, is your reading. I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. It's Ophiuchus time. We have this Ophiuchus snaky. Ophiuchus time. So let's get the snaky so that we can have so we can put the cards down. So the card for Ophiuchus in the Dreamer's Tarot is the Knight of Wands. So you are sort of riding forward with your will in mind in terms of what you want to do and what you are intending for your life in the world. So let's see, Ophiuchuses, what the runes have to say about this. Ooh, that's the first time I've seen Hagalaz this reading. That's interesting. Okay. Neat. All right, Ophiuchuses. Our central issue is Hagalaz. Hagalaz is the rune of fire. It's something that starts small, like a ember, and sort of blazes into a blaze, sort of about expansion and things. However, it is reversed and it's on the path line. So it has to do with honing your energy to a point, honing your focus. So right now you're honing your focus. Maybe your options, maybe you feel like your options have dwindled. Maybe you feel like your options have been limited, but mostly what you're doing is it's you focusing. You are focusing really, really hard. And what led up to this is we have Manas, which is the rune of humanity and your place where you belong in it, your sort of note in the song. And you've sort of really become aware of that. And so you are willing to, right now you are taking that realization about your note in the song and you're riding forward with it. It's like, if that's who I am and that is who I am, I'm going to focus on that because that's the best way I can serve humanity. So, and the world and myself. And what will help you here is your confidence, because you've realized this about yourself, that you have this that is so essential for the world. And it's your duty to share it, and it's your duty to bring it into the world and to sing that note. So it's going to be more than one note, but it's sort of your grand quest to do. And so you are feeling a lot more confident than you were before because you know this is the right thing. You know this is your thing to do. Now, what won't help is it's almost going to feel overwhelming once you realize it's like the burdened with glorious purpose. Except please don't be like Loki and try to take over the world. Just basically sing your song. Sing your song as good as you can. And that's basically where you're at. But you're going to still sort of feel like it's almost like it's a burden as far as it's too much. This is too much to ask of me. If this is my note in the song, it is too much to ask of me. But no, it isn't, because you're doing this naturally. This note that you bring is a byproduct of your being. So be confident with it. Move forward in confidence. And what this is going to lead to is, interestingly, I'm going to read this a couple ways. We have Virgo, which is the journey rune. It is reversed and it's on the path line. So one, there's going to be an outer journey that you are going to bring to a close. Something that you were doing that doesn't need to be done anymore, you can actually draw that to a close. At the same time, as you hone your focus on this thing that you realize that you bring to the world, you're going to actually start an inner journey that you hadn't started before. You're actually turning your journey inward so that you're really going to tend this thing that you're bringing in. And that, Ophiuchuses, is your reading. I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye!